And, I read it all in one sitting, drank 2 beers, read it all in one sitting while hanging out with the family. They didn't know what I was reading. But I was reading about like demon killing and whatnot, and some crazy stuff like you saw in those first 2 pages. And I really enjoyed this. Very, very metalhead, where like Murder Falcon was sort of lighthearted and fun and really like pull at the heartstrings. This is metal in the other way. It is really tongue-in-cheek, really out there, and very creative.
So this is Airtight Garage. These were actually compiled in a few different versions too. So most of this stuff, I mean, they've repackaged, and sometimes it's colored. Sometimes, man, that's so awesome. It's really interesting, I think, following art now, because it's such a there's such a wide spectrum of stuff that you can see in a day. It's kind of like, I honestly, the more that I see it, the more I actually sort of go away from it. It sounds weird, but I can't. All the input in my brain just gets confusing, and it's like I have to really dumb it down for me personally. So stuff like Instagram and stuff like that, honestly, is really more of a distraction, and it just puts more sort of random stuff in my head that I don't want to see. I've talked about it with close friends before, but even looking at stuff that I like, there's points where I just shut it down and I won't look at it because it's sending mixed signals to my brain. It has nothing to do with Mobius, but just in general. Yeah, I think if you're really going to draw a lot, I don't know, at least for me, you just need to focus on your own art. It's it's kind of like Arthur Adams. It's funny. I know it's just a coincidence, but that's funny. The Mole Men. Yeah. Be curious of how much Jean Giraud was he a huge fan of art, or was he just sort of immersed kind of in his own world of creation? You can never tell. And everybody's wired differently. But for me, especially now, like I said, it's one thing to have a huge book collection, which again was being neglected. And 100% why I started doing these videos is it seemed like the only way that I would ever look at this stuff was if I actually did a video.
Yep. Skeleton there, like you said, this is a post-apocalyptical.
Just calm down. Love Tom Taylor's work,
and all in one issue.
All just a one shot.
I love a good one and done. That's
exactly.
Awesome. That takes real talent.
This has everything that I want in a comic book. It's got that little bit of action that gives me that comic book flavor. But the story was very human. It really brought out the personalities of both Damian and Bruce. I love a good story where Bruce gets brought to the table and he learns a lesson, because 9 times out of 10 he's just so closed off. And this was so well done. My pick of the week, and I'm just going to say it right now, probably my pick of the year. It was very well done, folks. If you haven't been reading this so far, that's okay. Pick up this one, Orphans. The story's called Orphans, Detective Comics 1017, and this is 2 sticks way up, folks.
Well, Tom Taylor seems to me a very good writer who I always thought they would put him on the big book a long time ago.
Exactly.
Ever since I first read him doing Earth 2 back in 2012, 2013, I was like, wow, this writer is really good.
Absolutely.
Batman's in deep shit, I think is what it says on the side there. Anyway, this is a really awesome cover. It's just exaggerated. It's just blown out. Just a totally ridiculous anatomy. That's just all 90s. You can smell that 90s goodness. And I love the 90s. I love 90s comics. The writing was fun. Maybe not the best, but super fun. But the art took top billing. Everyone was just way up top. McFarlane, Jim Lee, Sam Keith, Del Keown, and Kelly Jones. And I loved it. It was just so cool. I mean, he's definitely an artist that you can spot right off the bat. You can spot a comic book that he draws 10 feet away. You can just see it. You're like, Kelly Jones. I bet somewhere in Northern California, in some heavy wooded area where some elite party's taking place, right? You've got Bernie Wrightson, Neil Adam, and Sam Keith, Jack Nicholson, and they're all having some kind of weird orgy. And then out comes Kelly Jones. That's what you got. I think you put all those things together, and I think that's what his art style represents for me when I look at it. I know that's a weird place to go. Probably a little dark. But I'm just thinking that's what happened. I love his art style. You can check it out in these big, awesome omnibuses, but really it's just the covers, honestly. But if you want to check out some great examples of interior work, check out Batman Blood Rain. And I think that's what this statue's going for, where Batman tangles with Dracula. You can tell he's definitely not wanting to go out in the sun, which is kind of, I mean, I don't either. I'm a ginger. So let's get a little closer look at these guys. We got Kelly Jones, Batman, and Bane.
This is great if you haven't read this. Shirtless Bear Fighter. It is a completely silly, off-the-wall story. The guy's raised by bears. He has a bear plane, eats flapjacks. I think there's 5 issues in this. It was just a real short tale, but it was so much fun and just absurd comedy that you can't stop laughing on the pages. He's basically just, it's ridiculous is what it is. It's just a ridiculous comic where he's fighting bears for a lot of it. Yeah, so if you get a chance, there's a picture of the bear plane right there. Yeah.
And then a giant goat demon comes out of his ass and kills him. And I didn't really get it because this goat demon thing is in this book, he is actually, he's like a protagonist in the book, and each issue, it has a very monster of the week feel, but that's a good thing.
I'd love to see what, guys, your collection looks like, and maybe this would be a way for you to go back and take the time and enjoy exactly what you have.
Post-apocalyptic.
This is a post-apocalyptic
Nuclear Holocaust book.
This is a post-apocalyptic. Come on, man.
Apocalyptic.
Apocalyptic.
There we go.
This is a post-apocalyptic. Things do not work out well. It's a post-apocalyptic battle world. It's gone bad. Okay,
right.
Everything looks horrible. It's, you look outside. It looks like Fallout. Have you ever seen the game Fallout?
Right.
That's what this world looks like. And there's
Scorched
only a
Earth.
few survivors. It's Scorched Earth.
Yeah.
So they accidentally wake her up, and she's part of the story. That's obviously about Wonder Woman. But they had to put Batman in there. They couldn't get away with one without Batman.
Yeah.